Hello viewers, welcome to this video. Right, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a free account on MongoDB Atlas. So MongoDB Atlas is the what do you call cloud software as a service. They provide you with the machines that you can use for your replica set, shard, or just a standalone instance. In the previous two videos we saw how to set up Ops Manager and how to provision our own cluster using Ops Manager. So those are the instances or the machines that we manage. But if you go to Atlas, that's cloud managed. You don't have to worry about managing any of the backups, monitoring, or anything. So everything will be managed by the MongoDB Atlas cloud. So we can just start using it. So there is the MongoDB Atlas page where we can get started for free, which I haven't tested. I'm going to test it now. So everything will be managed by them, and let's see how it actually works. Okay, so let's go to MongoDB Atlas. MongoDB Atlas, the official website, and get started for free. Cool. So let's sign up. So my email address venkatn@gmail.com. First name, last name. We don't need credit card details. That's good. Password, let's type a password, agree to the terms and conditions, get started for free. Well, if you've got an existing MongoDB replica set or MongoDB instance that you've got, you can also create an account in MongoDB Atlas and you can migrate your data from your existing cluster to the cloud. You can migrate the data from your existing cluster to the cloud. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that because I don't have a cluster that I manage here. Let's see what it shows us. Get started for free. Okay, so let's see, that should give us something. Okay, so setting up. Welcome to MongoDB Atlas. Okay, so that's our dashboard. Starter clusters, highly available auto healing cluster, end-to-end encryption, role-based action control. But what we won't get is no downtime scaling, network isolation, real-time performance metrics. For that you need to go with some of the other options, single region cluster or multi-region cluster, for which you will have to pay. This one is just about experiencing MongoDB Atlas, what it is all about, and so on. So let's create a cluster. Okay, so now we are going to create a cluster. You've got an option to create your cluster, which is in AWS or Google Cloud or in Azure. Create a free tier cluster by selecting a region with free tier available. Okay, so M0 cluster, North America. So I'm in Europe, so I'm going to choose Ireland, and then cluster tier. You've got M2, M0, M2, and M5, but only M0 is free tier eligible. Shared RAM and the storage you get is just 512 meg. It will be enough for you to play with it, just for you to test how Atlas works and how the UI and things works. There are differences between Ops Manager and Atlas. Both are like automation agent. You can manage your MongoDB deployments through Ops Manager or through Atlas. There are, like I said, there are some differences. Okay, additional settings, turn on backup. I don't think backup is not included for M0. You will have to go for the paid version, M2. If you go for M2, you get 2 gig storage. M5, you get 5 gig storage. But if you go for one of the paid versions like single region cluster or multi-region cluster, you will be able to see lots of other instance types. So at the moment these 3 instances are shared. You might be able to get dedicated instances if you go for the higher instances. Okay, and cluster name, what we call, let's call it just me. Okay, create cluster. Okay, so cluster is getting created. Connect to Atlas. So we are building the cluster, and then we can create your first database user, whitelist your IP. So because this is running in the cloud, not everyone can connect to this cluster. You need to add your IP address to the whitelist so that it will be under the network access here, which we will look in a minute once the cluster is deployed, or we can actually do it right now. Whitelist your IP so that you can access the cluster, load sample data if you've got any sample data that you can load, and connect to your cluster. How to connect to the cluster? Okay, let's see how everything goes. We've got this cluster tier, which is M0 in the region AWS Ireland. Type is a replica set, 3 nodes. Okay, cool. So the next thing we need to do is to allow access. Okay, let's actually start here. Create your first database user. Click here to manage your projects and database access. Okay, database access, MongoDB users, there are no users. Click here to add your first database user. Okay. Password, enter username, Venkaten, password. Read write to any database, that's fine. Add user. Okay, that's done. We've added a user. Whitelist your IP. Okay, so that will be in the network access. If you've got your existing cluster in AWS or Azure or GCP, then you will have to set up your peering connection as well, so that you will be able to migrate your existing data from your existing cluster to the cloud. What they will do is they will have a set of servers, a migration server that needs access to the primary instance of your existing replica set, and then they will start copying data from your existing cluster to the instances in the cloud. So for that you might need to create the peering connections and so on if you've got your existing cluster in some of the cloud providers. I don't have any existing clusters, so IP whitelist, add IP address. Okay, add current IP address. So that's my public IP address. So now I should be able to connect to this cluster once the cluster has been provisioned. Comment Venkat's home IP. Okay, confirm. Okay, so that's done. Load a sample data. I don't have any sample data. Let's see what. Nope, I don't have that. Connect to your cluster. Connect. Okay, so but we need to wait until before the cluster gets provisioned. So that's our cluster, project 0 Venkat's org. And if you want to change the name of the project, we can change the name. Go to settings, and there are integrations. You can integrate this with Slack, for example, Datadog, Ops Genie, PagerDuty, and everything. And alerts, like I mentioned in my Ops Manager video, you can create alerts if CPU utilization goes above 90% or your disk utilization goes above 95% or something. You will get an alert here, and you can configure the integrations. You can have your Slack channel integrated, so whenever there is an alert here, it will be sent to your Slack channel or whatever application you have configured. And you can also create alerts. So there are like basic alerts that's already been created for you, but if you want, you can always add more alerts to it. Click new alert, host of any type. Let's say if connections is about, let's say if there are like more than 100 connections coming into my cluster, I need to be alerted and so on. And through email, project owner, different set of roles, who wants to be notified and so on. So there is this place where you can configure your alert settings. Please set your time zone. Okay, London set. Clusters. What I was actually going to change the project name. Okay, project 0, settings, and the project name. Let's edit the project name. Let's call it testing. Okay, save. So we are in the testing project. You can create many projects as you want. Clusters, and let me refresh it. Yep, there we go. So that's our organization. Let's also change the organization name. Go to settings, organization name, edit. I'm going to set the organization name to be Just Me Limited or something. Okay, require two-factor authentication. If you want to enable two-factor authentication, you can enable that. Projects, we've got one project, and in that project we've got just one cluster, and there is one user, which is myself, Venkat Nagapan, and I should be able to log in and use the cluster. Okay, so that's our cluster that's running fine, and the size is 512 meg. That's what you get with the free tier. Number of connections, number of operations, and you can look at the metrics. Op counters, nothing, and you only get limited set of metrics. Like if you watch my ops manager video, there were loads of metrics that you can monitor. And here, if you go for the paid version, then you will be able to see more metrics here. Okay, so that's our cluster. That's our replica set with 3 nodes, and we are running version 4.0.13. And if I click on just me, you can see there's 1 primary and 2 secondary nodes. If you want to see the individual nodes, you can go there and you can look at the metrics here. Okay, type electable, that's all looking good. Project access management. So this is where you add access to more people. If you want to invite more people to manage this project, you can also create teams and add users to teams like dev team, test team, prod team, and so on. Activity feed. So this is where you see the activities that has been happening in your cluster. Project was created, user joined the project, new cluster created, host added, cluster update completed, and so on. All these things you can also filter based on what you want to see, and there is this time range that you can select. Okay, so that's our cluster. We've looked at the metrics. Edit the configuration if you want to edit any of your configuration. If you want to modify your cluster, for example, if you want to move from one machine to the other. Oh, now I can see all these machines. M30, M40. Okay, so we've been using M0, which is free tier eligible. But if you want to go for higher storage and higher CPU, for example, M40 gives you 16 GB of RAM and 80 gig of storage with 4 CPU, and it costs you $1.15 an hour. Okay, if I select that, and you will also be able to set the amount of storage that you want. For example, 80 gig. Okay, what if I want 800 gig? And as I scroll there, you can see the price varies. Okay, so if I go for 800 gig, I will be paying like $1.64 an hour. And there are other things that you can modify. Select a version, turn on backup, snapshots, or if you want a continuous backup, and so on. More configuration options, op log size. Okay, I'm not going to apply anything. Cancel. And how do you connect to this cluster? And there is this command here to connect. How do you want to connect? Connect with the Mongo shell. Connect your application. Okay, from which application you want to connect, Node.js, or if you want to use Python version 3.6 or later. So that will be the connection string. And there's also a full driver example. We can use PyMongo to connect to the MongoDB database from our Python applications. Go back. I want to connect from a shell. I've got a Mongo shell installed, and I want to connect using the shell. Okay, I have the Mongo shell installed, so I'm going to select that option. If you don't have, you can follow this documentation to download the Mongo shell. You can select your operating system, which operating system you've got, Windows, Mac OS. If you're in Amazon Linux, if you're using Amazon Linux. And it will give you the download link to download your Mongo shell. But I've got Mongo shell installed already. Select your Mongo shell version. So mine is, I need to check which Mongo. I've got Mongo installed, Mongo -- version. So I'm on version 4.0.8, so I'm going to choose 4.0. Okay, so that's the connection string that we are going to use. Copy and paste. Okay. Yep, so that's the connection string, and you can look at the connection string. It comes with an SRV record. So SRV record are just like DNS records. where they specify the replica members automatically. So you don't have to specify every single replica members to connect to your replica set. So that will be from the DNS seed list. You'll be prompted for the password for Venkat N. Because we've created the user Venkat N already, we should be able to log in, and it should land you in the primary instance of this replica set. Okay, so that's the connection string, and if I enter the password, I should be able to log in. Yeah, cool. So that's our primary db.print replication info. Okay, so that's our log size used MB error message, objects not found. Okay, is this a new and empty DB instance? Yes, it is. It is a new and very empty instance. Okay, rs.status. Cool, so we have 3 replica, and our replica name is just me shard 0, and we have these 3 members, and you can see the election time and heartbeat. What is it syncing to? It's syncing to the primary, which is 0.00, and the third member, which is also syncing to the primary. Okay, so we are connected. Show DBs, admin, local. We can create a new database if you want. Use test db dot create collection. Let's call a collection movies. Okay, show collections. We have movies collection. db dot movies dot insert 1. Okay, let's call it let's add a sample document to see if it works. Movie title, if I type it correctly, title, the matrix, comma, then what else we want? Year. I don't know which year it was released. Let's say 2009. Acknowledged. Show collections. We've got the movies collection. db.movies.find.pretty. Cool, there we go. We've got that. So that's how you connect to your Atlas cluster. Okay, so now let's log in. Let's look at the cluster and see if we can see the data here. We've got the metrics, connections. Okay, so we've got the connections. Do we have replication lag? No. I'm just trying to find out how our secondaries are doing, if they are catching up with the primaries, and what's the replication lag and so on. But unfortunately, you will be able to see only limited set of metrics with your free tier account. Okay, and what else? We can look at the collections here. Retrieving list of collections. We created the test database with the movies collection, and you can see the document that we just added. Usage this month 0.0. Okay, so that's the free tier account. Cool. I think that's all I wanted to show you. Just get started with MongoDB Atlas. If you're using that in the production, this might help you. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your time watching this video. I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.